Well, folks, this is video last night in Texas of Governor Greg Abbott at a Republican fundraiser. As you see, he's there in the wheelchair. He's hugging people. I mean, nobody. Go ahead and just keep running it. I know, just keep running it. Nobody is wearing a mask. Everybody is just up close. No social distancing. None of that. They taking pictures. Well, guess what? Today, his office announced that Abbott tested positive for COVID-19. Now, he had already been vaccinated. They say he is on Regeneron. And then this is a tweet that went out. Governor Greg Abbott, Governor Abbott tested positive for COVID-19 today. His office announces Abbott is fully vaccinated and currently experiencing no symptoms, according to his communications director, Mark Miner. Now, this is the same Greg Abbott, y'all, who's been fighting school districts from imposing mask mandates because of his executive order. He also told restaurants that if they create any kind of requirement to show COVID vaccination cards, he will have the Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission pull their liquor license. Now, all of this is happening while Texas health officials have requested 5 mortuary trailers from the federal government, anticipating an influx of dead bodies due to COVID. Health officials say the trailers are needed after analyzing the rise in cases due to the contagious Delta variant. My home state has been a hotbed for the coronavirus since the beginning of the pandemic. Currently, the state has the second highest number of cases in the country, only trailing California. All this comes just one day after thousands of students and the staff in Dallas-Fort Worth area return to in-person learning. Danae, wow, isn't it interesting that Greg Abbott at this big Republican fundraiser last night, hugging people, shaking hands, he tests positive for COVID today. That means if they actually follow protocols, every single person at that fundraiser needs to be in quarantine and I'll have contact tracing because they all came into contact with a COVID positive governor.
The irony, Roland. And first and foremost, thank you so much for having me back. The last time that I was here, we were just talking about the fact that he was trying to enact a very discriminatory and xenophobic policy that targeted migrants because he believed or wanted the people of Texas to believe that migrants were somehow, some way more susceptible to COVID-19. So it's quite ironic now that he's the one who actually has contracted COVID-19, right? It isn't the boogeyman that we look at as being immigrants carrying the virus, but it's actually the governor who does not believe in socially distancing, or the governor that doesn't believe in masking, right? It has everything to do with him and his own irresponsibility. I mean, for you to be so political that you don't want to take into consideration your own health or that of the people whose health you should be looking out for, it speaks volumes, right? This isn't a political issue. This has everything to do with the health and well-being of the people of Texas and the people across the United States of America. And it's so sad that it's really gotten to this point that people have continued to follow the former twice impeached president and his idea that this isn't real, right? That this was something that was created in order to fearmonger among people in the United States. It's so sad that that's being perpetuated long after his term has ended and after he's been voted out of office. This isn't political. This has everything to do with the health and well-being of the people in this country. And I really hope that after he now has contracted COVID-19, that he'll now see the importance of wanting to get more Texans vaccinated and wanting to get his state on the right track. But if history, right, is any indication, as we saw with the previous twice impeached president, he contracted COVID-19, but yet still continued to perpetuate a lot of the misconceptions about this virus. So I'm not really optimistic about him changing his viewpoints, but one could only hope.
You know, when I saw this, Mustafa, the first thing I thought about was Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. When last year, he said that if we have to sacrifice our elderly to save the economic future of America for our children, then that's what we have to do. I wonder if Dan Patrick is saying, Governor Greg Abbott, if you die, it's to save the economy of America. Ain't it interesting what happens when it creeps up into your backyard?
My granddaddy said if you keep poking at a snake, eventually he gonna bite you. So, you know, that's that country wisdom that many of our elders actually have. You know, it's so nonsensical in what these folks can continue to do time again. They will literally sacrifice, not just folks of color, they will sacrifice their own. And we see that continue to play out. You know, not just in Texas, but across our country, we've got about 40 million people who are dealing with lung disease. So they have they have these conditions that make them even more vulnerable. We know that we got about 7 million kids that fall into that number. So they are literally sacrificing our children. They're sacrificing our elders, and they just don't care because they place politics over people's lives.
Folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Football bans and one of the best fan experiences in the country. The Cricket BX SWAC Challenge kickoff returns to Atlanta on August 28th, along with special guests, College Game Day. Then Alcorn State takes on North Carolina Central with conference bragging rights on the line. Center Park Stadium is the place to be on August 28th. Come tailgate all day before enjoying a primetime matchup on the gridiron. You don't want to miss this. Check out MEACSWACChallenge.com for more information.
And folks, SWAC MEAC Challenge, we, Roland Martin Unfiltered, will be broadcasting live from Atlanta that Friday and that Saturday. On that particular Friday, we'll be broadcasting from the Atlanta Braves Stadium. We'll have both university presidents, SWAC MEAC officials. It's going to be jam-packed. On Saturday, we'll be broadcasting live from the Coca-Cola Fan Zone from 2 to 6:30. Then we're going to be live streaming the halftime show as well as the musical performance after the game. And so you definitely want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered on the ground at the SWAC MEAC Challenge, August 27th, August 28th. See you there.